Okay, you look familiar. Yeah, we do look familiar. Have we met? No? Huh. Okay. I mean, yeah. Okay. No awkwardness. Okay, let's get into this. Alrighty. We're here today with Miss Uzo Amaka. It's such an honor to meet you, Uzo. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Cherry-Lyon Diva, you have been amazing yourself. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's hard to get you in an interview these days. You've been very busy. You've been quite busy. My team has been trying to get a hold of your team. Your team's trying to get a hold of my team. We're finally here. We're going to do it. It's finally time. How do you feel about it? It's been hard. I know it's been hard. It's been quite something. Yeah, I've been all kinds of busy. Busy is an understatement, but in a good way. But yes, I have been busy. So I'm glad. I am also glad that to be here, to be able to speak with you, Miss Cherry-Lyon Diva Uzo Amaka. Yes, I understand. I know. What prompted me to want to interview you is I've kind of followed your life a little bit, stalkish, and I wanted you to be able to share with us a little bit about some of the steps you've taken. I know you're a mom, you're a wife, you wear multiple hats to my understanding. So tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you were born, where you were raised, a little bit about yourself if you don't mind. Okay, a little bit about myself. Well, I do wear multiple hats. We'll get into that. First, I'm a mom. Mom to two beautiful kids, a wife. I've been married for 21 years, almost 21 years. It'll be 21 years in a few months, and to a Nigerian man. He's been wonderful, very supportive of all my endeavors. He's been, the kind of husband that any woman would hope to have, but been very supportive. We've been married. This year we'll make 21 years. We have two kids, and I'm just very happy about that. That's impressive. You've been married 20 years. Wow. Well, kudos to you. That is quite impressive. I know 20 years is not easy, especially Nigerian. Okay. All right, I'll leave that alone. Nigerian men are wonderful. We'll leave that there. So you mentioned you wear multiple hats, like we mentioned earlier. So we'll get that in. We'll get a little bit more into that in a little bit. But if you don't mind, tell us why, you decided to interview with us today. Because, again, you usually don't like being in front of the camera. That's what we learned, at least not so much. So tell us a little bit about why you decided to grant our interview for today. Why I chose to be here today. This is going to be very hard to believe, but you have to believe me. My preference is not to be in front of the camera. I have a preference to work behind the camera, but once in a while, situations such as this came up where I have my YouTube channel, part of my content creation. I have made a plan to at least submit one interview per month, and that I didn't want this month to go by without having an interview. So the person I had booked for the interview for this month, one thing or another came up, illness, schedule conflicts came up, and I was not able to get him in on time for the month. So I am filling in to make sure I keep to my plan on submitting at least one interview a month. So that is why I'm here today. As the saying goes, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. So that's why I am here today. Okay, yes, I know a thing or two about cancellations. The cancellations. Okay, now let's get into your multiple hats. I'd like for you to go ahead and share with us, what exactly are you trying to accomplish with all this career? So when we say multiple hats, clearly we're talking about the different career paths that you have taken over the course of several years, and in your case, a couple of decades. So give us some insights into your quest to conquer the professional world. Yes, wearing multiple hats. Okay, I know I'm gonna forget something, so that's okay. I went to San Francisco State, graduated in 2003 with my bachelor's degree in broadcasting and electronic communication. The year I graduated, I also got my degree in real estate. Soon after, I think under 2 years, I got my broker's license. And then soon after that, after some time working in real estate until the market crashed, and then I went back to school and got my LVN license, licensed vocational nurse for here in California. I got that license. And then a year or two after that, I got my registered nursing license, my RN license. And then after that, I got my nurse practitioner license. And then after that, I did my specialty in mental health nurse practitioner. So that's in the health field. So we've discussed my broadcasting, we've discussed real estate, we discussed health, the healthcare field and mental health. And then I also started to get into content creation at the end of last year, 2024. Was when I started to look into creating online content for, which kind of pulls back into that broadcasting and electronic communication aspect of it. So anyway, yes, those are my hats. Do with that what you will. So, okay, that's quite a bit. Why? Why did you keep going? You've accomplished something that's already big in most people's worlds. People have created careers out of real estate alone. People have created careers out of nursing or content creation. But you seem to have done it all. You just keep going. Why? I know, why? What is wrong with me? I know, I can't sit still. Well, to be honest, so let me break it down. So what happened was, when I was graduating with broadcasting and electronic communication, I remember trying to get a job. At the time, there was a radio station I tried to get a job with, and I was not immediately getting any responses from local news stations or things like that. Somehow I quickly learned it's good to know someone who knows someone, and I didn't have that. So like I mentioned earlier, I got my real estate license that same year that I graduated, and it was only by chance. My uncle, my dad's younger brother, had just by chance mentioned to me, I think he had come to visit us at some time, and he was like, I think you'll make a very good real estate agent. It was just random. And I took that, and I pursued real estate, and I became a real estate agent. He was instrumental, and I sold one of his properties. It was one of the first ones I sold, so he really supported me in that road. So relatively, in terms of a new graduate and being young at the time, I was successful. But here's the thing: becoming a real estate agent and doing all the work, you're finding the clients, you hang your license as a real estate agent under a broker. Then you're doing all the work, you're marketing yourself, you're finding the clients, you're showing the homes, you're doing everything. And then the broker takes, I think at the time it was 20% with me. So he was taking 20%. Now, I know considering everything, 20% isn't that much, but it was to me. Like I felt like you're just the broker, you didn't do anything. Again, for me. So that's what pushed me to go get my broker's license. Yes. So it was 2 years in, a little bit under 2 years, I believe, or about 2 years. Then I got my broker's license, and that was my pursuit to get my broker's license. Then real estate market crashed, 2008. I couldn't compete with the crash. So at the time, a lot of the real estates and the area was being taken by the banks, since they're called REO, real estate owned, REO properties, and the bigger companies were able to get those homes, you know, as listings from the banks. Again, there's that connection, and I didn't have any mentors. I didn't know, you know, I had my own company, Epitome Real Estate Investments, but it was just me. I was my sole person in my brokerage. So because I couldn't compete, I wasn't getting, and then the market was just flooded with listings and there were no buyers. Again, bills needed to be paid, so I went back to school and I needed to do something that was quicker. So I got my LVN license. And again, my mindset, I'm working as an LVN. My first job was in a SNF. And while working as an LVN, I'm doing the wound changes and doing the med pass and doing everything. But the only thing you're not allowed to do that's different from an RN is assessments. You know, a patient comes in, they do the full head to body assessment and everything, and the notes, and IVs. To my recollection, those are the only two things I was not allowed to do as an LVN as compared to the RN. And then the RN made significantly more than the LVN. The math wasn't mathing for me. I'm like, okay, I can do an IV and I can definitely do an assessment. So I went back to school and became an RN. And that's how I became an RN. I was an RN for a good amount of time. And then at the time I was working at a facility. It's since closed, but I worked at a facility. And it was kind of in an office area, but it was restricted. I knew I wanted to be more than just that, you know, in terms of my options. So while I was there, I did go back to school, did an online school for my NP. While I had my family nurse practitioner license, I didn't immediately use it, again, because it wasn't as restrictive. The goal is to be able to carry that on and move forward with that. And that's that. I see. So where are you now? Where am I now? Where I am now is, I just mentioned, I just finished my mental health nurse practitioner, so I'm hoping to be able to put that to use. But I'm hoping to be able to do part-time weekends, holidays, evening shifts, to be able to start to see mental health patients, and that's what I'm hoping to go into sooner than later. Yeah. So that's where I am now. Now that's fascinating. I have to applaud all your efforts. I really have to applaud it all, because that's more than most, and it's quite inspirational. So I definitely wish you continued success, and I pray it grows. Let's see if we can lighten the load a little bit. So give us a few, you know, just to getting to know you a little bit more, since you're a new content creator. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. What are your favorites, like favorite music? Let's start with this. Top 3, let's do this. Top 3 songs. What are your top 3 songs? Oh, I like this question. I love this question. Top 3 songs. Top 3 songs, I will say, this is easy. If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle. Absolutely love that song. Second, I don't know much, but I know I love you. I can't sing. I Don't Know Much by Aaron Neville and Linda Ronstadt. I love that. And then I Care by Beyonce. I know Beyonce has a slew of songs. I love a majority of her songs, but I Care kind of resonated with me at a very, very pivotal time in my life, and it's kind of stuck. And it's, I forgot to mention. I knew I forgot something. I am also a published author. I forgot. Yes, I am a published author. Ages of Suffocation, Remember Dreams. It's available on Amazon. And I remembered it because I kind of mentioned a particular song, of that song, I Care, in that book. love that song. I think you and I are gonna get along just fine. I love that song as well. And then who are your top 3 performers? Good luck with that. So performers, not just, in any realm. Okay, nice one. Top 3 performers, I would say, well, again, it's easy. So I'm not gonna narrow it down to just singers. So Beyonce, I love Beyonce. I don't care. However, oh my God, everybody says that. I really, truly I believe she's just amazing. She's just amazing. And then I love Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is hilarious. Like, Kevin Hart is that guy that if a movie comes out today, I'm seeing it today. Like, I enjoy his movies. I enjoy his personality. I think he was born to do, in fact, everybody I'm mentioning, I believe they were born to do what they're doing. Like, that was their purpose. And I feel it kind of resonates with me. And then third is Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is brilliant. He is funny. Things just roll. Sorry if this sounds weird. It rolls out of his mouth or off his tongue with ease. There's no discomfort. There's no hold back. And I love that, that kind of confidence, that know it, so yes, Beyonce, Kevin Hart, and Trevor Noah. I think they're amazing. They're amazing. That's a great list. I'm impressed you can narrow it down to just 3. Top 3 Afrobeat stars. I like to differentiate. They're all stars, but and when you try to compress a list of people who are quite successful in their field, it's not always fair or easy, so that's why we're kind of dividing this up. So top 3 Afrobeat stars. Ooh, nice. Top 3 Afrobeat stars. Davido, number 1. I have had arguments with family members, friends, whatever. I don't care. Davido's always going to be number 1 for me. I think, just like I was mentioning earlier, some people who were born to do a particular thing, in my heart of hearts, I feel and know that he was born to do, to be a performer, to sing. He was born to do that, and I can feel it every time just listening to his voice. He is super talented. People go into his personal life and things that happens. He's a human being. He's entitled to have a personal life. I don't even know, like when I'm hearing things, I don't really get into it because I'm enjoying the performance. And that's it. So I love Davido. Okay, here we go. Rima, I love Rima. He's talented as well. Omale is very good. Burna Boy, he's very talented. Timaya is kind of on that reggaeton type. I love him, in that different vibe. Gotta throw in my sister Arya Starr. Now, Arya Starr, she's very comfortable in performing. She's confident in herself. She's beautiful. She can sing, and she moves like, I don't care what I'm doing, like whatever makes her happy, she does it. That's just what I know nothing about her. I know absolutely nothing about her except that she has a great voice and she's a great performer. Yes, that was 6, I know, but they're good. I can't just name 3, they're pretty good. Well, that's 6. That's a lot more than 3. Okay. And then your top, I'll put this all in one category. Top actor / producer / director, because just like you, some of the actors wear multiple hats. Some of them have become directors, executive producers. Ooh, top actors, directors, okay. Some have shifted here and there, but that I can think of off the top of my head right now. Ava DuVernay, Issa Rae, Idris Elba, Kerry Washington, Lupita Nyong'o. Okay, forgive me, I forget his name because I don't want to cheat, but I know I enjoy his work. the director that did Fruitvale, and I believe he also did, what's the boxing, Rocky? No, Creed. The director that, you know, directed those two movies with Michael B. Jordan, I believe he's very talented. For the life of me, I don't know. We're just gonna put his name somewhere, put his name. Okay, him. I enjoy his work. Again, there are many out there that I've, over the years, I loved Oprah. Everybody loved Oprah, but I genuinely loved Oprah's work. But there are many over the years that have come and shifted and everything. But right now, where things are that come to mind, these women and men are quite inspirational. I think they're inspirational. Now that is an impressive list. Now I'm going to make it just a tad bit harder for you. If of all the artists, all the directors, everybody you just mentioned, if you had to pick only one out of all of them, it's a magic wand, abracadabra, boom, you get to meet one. That's not a fair question. That is not a fair question. To pick only one, it's impossible. But I'll do it this way. I would invite all of them all at once. Like if I could, I'd just do an invitation and send it all out the same day, same time. If I happen to have their addresses, even online or whatever, and say, okay. And then whoever shows up is who I want to meet. Yes, whoever shows up is who I want to meet. You're a very smart woman. I think you're going to go far in life. Yes. All right, so here's a final question. Semi-final. One possible, not impossible, one possible wish you have for yourself. If you had only one possible wish for yourself, what is that wish? And let me narrow the list, the wish down. Because as mothers, we tend to go for our kids first, or, for the most part. You have one wish for yourself, Uzo Amaka, for you. What would that wish be, and why? Okay, one possibility, one dream, one magical one. All right, what would I wish? I've known this answer since the day it was published, my book. It's a wish and dream of mine. It's actually been one of my prayer points. My book, Ages of Suffocation. I have a wish, desire, hope, and aspiration to perhaps one day have that book be made into a movie or mini-series. Netflix, Hulu, movie theaters, in whatever format. Why? Because feedback I've been able to get from some of the readers is a lot of people resonated with the wife aspect, the some abuse, some parts of abuse. So there were subject lines in there that seemed to resonate, especially with a lot of women, and not just Black women, just women. There's and even children. People who remember being young and experiencing whether bullying at school or friendships or relationships and things like that. So the book has layers, if you read it, which I encourage you to read the book, it has layers, and I truly believe it will resonate. And my dream and hope is that it is made one day into a movie, a miniseries, or something of that form. Wow. That is quite inspirational. That is a good wish. I think that is definitely feasible. It's possible. We just have to put in the work, right? We put in the work and meet the right people to be able to achieve that. And I wish nothing but success for you, because it seems like you've been doing quite a bit of work. I know I said last question, but this is really the last question. You've accomplished everything you mentioned. And what is the one thing, if you had the choice, like this would have to be my career and you can live the rest of your life doing it, what would it be and why? What career would I choose? That's an unfair question, just like asking me my favorite one or two things. I think at this point today, this point in time, I enjoy writing. I think writing will never stop because I always write. And it's funny, every career I'm in requires some form of writing, but I really, really, truly enjoyed writing my book. I have other unpublished works, you know, I have fantasy, I have poems, I have so many other things, but it's kind of my, if I had all the money in the world and all the time in the world, what would I do? I would say writing would be number one, real estate would be number two, and the healthcare field would be number three. That is how I would put it in order. Writing relaxes me. If I'm able to sit in a quiet area and imagine the things that I can imagine in my head, because I have a very imaginative, I have a lot of things in this head of mine. Being able to put that into words and then possibly making that into reality, somebody reading that and being able to feel from that, I would enjoy that. Then real estate, I've always enjoyed real estate. I enjoy going to homes and seeing different homes. There are things you don't know that you know. I've seen homes, I've seen things in homes that I didn't even know was a thing. I think very early on in my career as a real estate agent, I remember going to a house. It was like somewhere in the Oakland Hills, Montclair Hill or something like that. And again, it was at least 2 decades ago. And I remember walking into this beautiful home and then went into the kitchen, and at the time they had the vents kind of come out of the stove. So it pushed a button and the vent came up on this side. I had never seen it before, and it was fascinating. I'm like, oh, you know, things like that. I've seen chandeliers in places that you don't even know you can have chandeliers. Again, very early on in my career, and I can remember that feeling, like the possibilities. Medical field, while you know you may see different patients, there can be some redundancy, but again, it's the most stable. You know, it's the most stable in terms of being able to pay your bills. Your bills are being paid, and that's what's important. At least for me. Well, I thank you so much for your time. I think you have been quite instrumental in all that you've tried to achieve, and I pray again nothing but success for you. Continue to work hard, and thank you again for providing us this opportunity to speak with you. And we hope the next time we get to speak with you, you get to share with us where you are, and you're able to share what you've achieved. And it's more and more accomplishments, and it's bigger than you ever even believed it could be. So thank you again, and best of luck. Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, bye. Bye. Thank you.